Charlie Kumara. Charlie Kumara is one of the Munch Bunch. He is kind and gentle and really quite clever. However, sometimes he says things without thinking, and this leads to all sorts of trouble. He lives in a large tool chest very close to Spud's house. One day he saw Spud carrying a beautiful embroidered blanket. "That's nice, Spud," he called out. "Is it yours?" "It's a secret present for Tom Tomato," said Spud. "Will you hide it in your house until his birthday?" "I'd be delighted," replied Charlie, and he set off with the blanket under his arm. Spud giggled. He was up to something. On his way home, Charlie saw Pedro Orange. He was playing his guitar for Lucy Lemon. She was dancing to the music. When Lucy saw the blanket, she stopped dancing. "What's that, Charlie?" she asked. "It's a birthday present for Tom," said Charlie. "But you mustn't tell him." Supercool was speeding by on his go-kart with Tom Tomato sitting on the back. When he saw the blanket, he stopped. "What's that, man?" he asked. "It's a secret present for Tom," replied Charlie. Everyone fell silent. "For me?" replied Tom. Charlie suddenly realized what he had done. "I was only joking," he said. "It's really for Pedro." Charlie threw the blanket over Pedro's head. Pedro couldn't see a thing. "It's a poncho," added Charlie, and he rushed away feeling very ashamed for almost giving away the secret. Later, Charlie went to Pedro's house to get the blanket back. Pedro had cut a hole in the middle of it for his head to go through, and 2 holes in the sides for his arms to go through. "This is how a poncho should be worn, amigo," explained Pedro. Charlie was horrified. He hurried to Penny Parsnip's library and borrowed a pile of books about making blankets. All night he knitted and sewed and snipped and embroidered until he'd made an identical blanket. Spud will never know the difference, thought Charlie. The next day he decided to take the new blanket back to Spud's house. On the way he popped in to see his friend Nurse Plum. She was behind a screen, bandaging a patient's grazed knee. She popped her head around the screen and saw the blanket. "This is a secret present for Tom," explained Charlie. "What is?" shouted an excited little voice. The screen fell down. It was Tom, who was having his knee bandaged. "Oh dear," said Charlie. "I was only joking. This is just an old blanket for Nurse Plum to use as bandages." "Oh, thank you," said Nurse Plum. "I'm very short of bandages." Charlie watched in horror as Nurse Plum cut the blanket into thin strips. Then she wrapped one of the new bandages around Tom's knee. "I'd better go home and make another one," thought Charlie. As he passed the river the next day, he saw Professor Peabody on his boat. The boat's sail was all torn. "Do you need that blanket?" called Peabody. "It would make a lovely new sail." "This is a secret present for Tom Tomato," replied Charlie. A sudden gust of wind tore down the old sail. Tom Tomato had been standing behind it. "What did you say?" asked Tom. Charlie was very embarrassed. "Oh, nothing," he replied, and he handed the blanket to the professor to make a new sail. That afternoon, all the Munch Bunch met in the village hall to give Tom his surprise birthday present. Charlie arrived with yet another blanket, but this time he'd put it in a big box and tied it very tightly with string so that nobody could question him about it. "Happy birthday, Charlie," they all shouted. "We fooled you," laughed Tom. "It's not my birthday at all. It's yours." "So it is," said Charlie. "You kept me so busy I forgot all about it." Charlie laughed and laughed. The Munch Bunch gave Charlie lots and lots of little presents. It took him ages to unwrap them all. Charlie loved all his presents, but the best present of all was the wonderful blanket which he'd made himself. It reminds him of the time when he tried very hard to keep a secret. It's difficult to keep secrets, isn't it? The end.